Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's your boy BT. I came here to talk some NBA with the hundreds and hundreds of B Taylor subscribers. Now, I'm going to get into something that Russell Westbrook has to say about Derrick Rose. Um, he works out with them. Obviously, a lot of these players are training with each other because of USA basketball. USA basketball mini camp was going on in Vegas. He had some positive things to say about Derrick Rose. So I wanted to get into that real quick. He didn't say much, but what he said was interesting because this is where Derrick Rose is at in his career right now. He basically said that the old Derrick Rose is back, and that was his quote. The old Derrick Rose is back. And he's referencing the MVP Derrick Rose, the Derrick Rose that you could throw alley oops to and would catch it with one hand and was doing the crazy reverse dunks at Madison Square Garden. You know that Derrick Rose, the one that won the MVP, the one that led the Bulls to the #1 seed, the one that was top 10 in like defensive win shares, the one that was just dominant, the most dominant player in the league for that season. He said that guy is back. Now, obviously, there's plenty of reason to be skeptical with Derrick Rose. He's been injured. A lot of the times it feels like every time Derrick Rose comes back, we're always saying, well, he has to get used to this, he has to get used to that. Well, now we're kind of past that point. He's not injured. He's made it through pretty much a whole season, with the exception of the latter part of the year where he had to get the surgery. He made it through most of the season and the postseason for that matter, healthy, and had some flashes of brilliance. Obviously, there's a lot more people wanted to see from Derrick Rose, but all things considered, had a good season, had a good postseason too. Health wise, this is the first off season in a very long time that he's not rehabbing or having to readjust himself to get back to being in game shape or being getting used to game speed. He's had enough reps in the games. He's played. He's been healthy for most of the year, so he's good. Now he can just kind of work on the little nuances of the game and get back to that. And Russell Westbrook, for him to say that he's getting back to Derrick Rose, it's good to hear. It's encouraging to hear, but we're gonna have to see a little bit of that before we believe it completely. But I will say this: during the postseason last year, in the Bucks series and in parts of the Cavs series, there were some moments where Derrick Rose hit some of those same type of shots he was hitting his MVP year. The way he's always been great at making acrobatic shots, but it was like those out of this world acrobatic shots that he was hitting, against the Bucks and the Cavs. We saw a few of them, and we saw a few of that next level explosion that we've been waiting to see from Derrick Rose in spurts. We didn't see it consistently. We saw it in spurts. So I think it's an encouraging sign. And one thing I will say about Derrick Rose, I personally feel that the reason we haven't seen a lot of that from Derrick Rose, a lot of the explosion we're used to seeing from Derrick Rose, like we saw in his MVP year, was because the typical system, that team played especially last year, that team played very slow. It was not an up and down team. It was a half-court team. You get Fred Hoiberg in the mix. They're gonna push the ball down people's throats. So they're gonna get out in transition. You kind of already know that with the Bobby Portis draft pick that that's what they're gearing more towards. And the rosters, look at the personnel on the roster. It makes no sense why they shouldn't be running. So the speed will pick up, and that benefits Derrick Rose majorly. And I think we'll be able to see some of the old Derrick Rose. I don't think it's ever going to be 100% like it used to be because he was younger back then. He was 22, fully healthy, no injuries. So I don't think it's ever going to fully get back to that. But I do think he has a chance to show more of that than he did last year. And I think last year was just kind of a year for him to really find out where he was as a player, kind of readjust his game. That's why you saw him take a million 3-pointers. I was saying that last year during the season. I'd watch the game so many times a year, and I'd be like, dang, another 3-point. He's taking all the 3-pointers. Why are you taking all these 3-pointers for? Well, just trying to add that arsenal to add that part to his game, add that to his arsenal. And that's what it is. So he had a tremendous game winner against the Cavs this year. The Bulls were able to really compete at a high level against them. There were some controversial things that prevented them from winning, like the David Blatt, when he called a timeout, they didn't have no timeout for the rest of the season. Like that was that. Then LeBron has the shot to tie the series up. So there's a lot of ifs and there's a lot of things that could happen. But the Bulls do have a lot to build off of from last year. The fact that Derrick Rose isn't, rehabbing or coming off of some sort of, you know, ACL tear or big knee injury or anything like that. The fact that that hasn't happened, that's encouraging enough for Bulls and I'm sure the whole fan base. So let me know what you guys think. Will Derrick Rose return to his old self? And will Fred Hoiberg's system make a difference in his production this year? Leave your comments down below. And as always, like, comment, subscribe, share, do all that good stuff. And until next time, take care, guys.